ever feel like your workplace is a war zone and you're constantly dodging emotional bombs? Well, get ready to armor up and conquer this chaos. Join me, Davina Dandridge, as we continue our journey to thrive in toxic work environments. And we're going to pick up right where we left off in our discussion. And in part one, we explored the importance of recognizing toxicity and begin laying down the groundwork for building emotional resilience. Now let's dive deeper into the trenches. Like we're going to get down in the trenches with this one and explore the next crucial step in our journey. So the second point is about building emotional resilience. I mean, you have to build that thicker skin, that thick layer of armor that's going to protect your emotions as you are dealing with drama that happens in the workplace. Because resilience is your shield against the slings and arrows of outrageous office antics, and they do happen. It's about bouncing back and being stronger and wiser, and having the right expectations empowers you to operate at work in a manner that displays your confidence, your willingness to be flexible, and your desire to work well for the company and honor yourself. You don't have to jump through hoops like some people do in order to climb the ladder. In a toxic environment, resilience takes a whole new level of importance, especially when it comes to emotional intelligence and sophisticated empowerment. Because imagine this, you're navigating through an era of negativity, right? It's just an era. And it's all surrounded by office politics and unreasonable demands, and maybe even some toxic coworkers. But here's the thing, resilience is your secret weapon. It's your protection against all of the chaos and drama in the office. It's about more than just bouncing back. It's about standing in your self-worth in the middle of the storm and maintaining your emotional balance. And it helps you to emerge stronger on the other side because you have to go through something. In order to build strength, you have to go through it. And what you do is you learn as you're going through it. And if you like it, you can repeat it. If it's something you don't want to experience again, then you make a plan not to experience it again. And the way that you do that is sticking up for yourself, but you have to stick up for yourself in the office and in everywhere in the right way. And that's with assertiveness. Assertiveness in the workplace is the main tool for displaying self-respect and boundary setting. It's not about being aggressive or confrontational. And every time somebody says something to you, you got a smart comeback, or you're refusing to do this. That's not in your job description and you're difficult to deal with. That's not what I'm talking about. It's about confidently expressing your needs, your opinions, and setting up boundaries while respecting the rights and opinions of other people. You're not always right and they're not always wrong. And you're your own person and they're their own person. Don't try and share too much and overstep your bounds. When you're assertive, you're able to communicate effectively. You're able to negotiate with confidence and you're able to handle conflicts with grace. The benefits are outstanding. First off, assertiveness breeds respect. When you're assertive, your self-respect and confidence, people are more likely to take you serious. When they see you being able to stick up for yourself and you walk around with confidence, they give you that. But you have to display it. You show people how to treat you. Secondly, it fosters healthy boundaries. By clearly communicating your boundaries, you're setting the stage for healthy relationships by reducing the risk of being taken advantage of. And finally, assertiveness builds confidence. So every time you assert yourself and see positive results, your confidence grows larger, empowering you to tackle even the biggest challenges that are going to come your way. That's like if you are having a conflict or a disagreement at work, you're not going to let it just change everything about your work environment and you take it home with you. You're going to be assertive enough to address the issue when the time is right. And my self gut check is the key to learning how and when to be assertive. So how do you cultivate assertiveness? by learning the self gut check, number one, but you can also start by knowing your worth. You understand that your thoughts, your feelings, and your needs are valid and worthy of respect. But don't get respect confused with having all your requests met and political correctness, because you might not get everything that you want the way that you want it in the workplace. We talk about diversity, but remember, diversity doesn't just include adding me into the mix. It includes all the other different races and ages and sex that are in this same environment with ideologies and thoughts and histories that aren't the same as mine. So just as I want to be acknowledged and respected in a politically correct way, so does everyone else. So I'm just saying, reasonable expectation is that you might not get everything that you want the way that you want it. However, if you practice clear and direct communication, like using I statements to express yourself assertively without sounding like you're accusing someone else, then you're showing your coworkers, your clients, and leadership how to treat you. Remember, practice makes perfect. The more you assert yourself, the easier it becomes. So, what you could do is incorporate a daily dose of centeredness. Some people say mindfulness. I say centeredness because it's about getting centered, not being flighty and all over the place because you're nervous and stressed out. It's not about being depressed and sluggish and stuck. Centeredness is where you're getting to that zero mark so you can decide in what direction you want to go and how you want to do that. But you need to take 5 minutes to shift your perspective, and it lightens the load. And in that 5 minutes, I pray. Some people meditate, some people say mantras, but I'm either praying or I'm saying a scripture or I'm listening to gospel music with a message that is in line with what my thoughts need to be or the outcome that I want. It's the time where you remember who you are. You've accomplished things, and you know, where do you want to go in your life? You have to remember the things that you've done and then look for things of where you want to change so that when workplace issues arise, you can handle them with sophistication. Maya Angelou once said, "You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them." Let that sink in for a minute. The third point is that you have to empower your professional path. You have to design the course of where you want your career to go. You can't leave it up to somebody else. You can't just wait to be recognized so you can possibly be one of 5 people up for the same position. Or you can't just decide that you want to go to another department, but you're going to wait until somebody else sees you and then they decide that there's an opportunity for you there. You don't open your mouth and set yourself up for those opportunities, but you have the empowerment to do that, because empowering your professional path means taking control of your career journey. You might have to develop some new skills and expand your network. But if that's going to help you get to where you want to go and in the time frame that you are planning for it, then all right then. And I tell you, my own career journey has been diverse. When I first started working, I didn't want to work in the family business. So I started working in retail and I was a hostess. And that was when I was a young adult going to college. But eventually I worked in the family business. But then I started transitioning myself to a career that I wanted. The family business was great, but it's not what I wanted. And so, developing emotional intelligence, I understood that I wasn't going to be feeling great working in the family business all of my life and retiring because that wasn't my dream. So I had to make a plan, and I started taking classes and I went back to college and I have obtained a master's degree. And whatever it was that I needed to do to get to the place where I wanted to go, those are the skills that I picked up. I went to meet someone, I made a plan. But it wasn't until I was in my 30s that I actually got into corporate world, into the corporate machine. But reflecting on my experiences, I realized that a traditional office environment, it didn't align with my aspirations. And I knew that very early on. I remember even saying it aloud as I was in broadcasting school, that I didn't see myself working in a cubicle, although I did spend my time in a cubicle because that was part of the progression. And while I value professionalism and excellence in my work, I also crave the freedom to express myself and to pursue innovative ideas. And I knew that working in a cubicle in a 9 to 5 in a regimented environment, it works for people, but it didn't work for me. It doesn't work for my desired future. Yet, like many people, I found myself on that roller coaster ride of workplace challenges and stressors. One of the most significant stressors stems from the impact of financial stability might be shaken up if I lose my job or if I don't get the promotion that I wanted. Unsteady workplace conditions can catch us off guard. But when you trade your time for a paycheck, you're often at the mercy of the employer's decisions. It's not about what you want. But here's the empowering truth: struggles at work are inevitable. They are. Just as we plan for success in our personal lives, we also can proactively manage our professional paths, whether that's adapting to changes in salary or job responsibilities or work locations, or having a plan that allows us to navigate these transitions with newfound strength and resilience. And that builds up our confidence. So, to empower your professional path, start it today. And here are 3 action steps that you can do to start directing your career path. The first one is to define your career goals. I just want you to take some time and reflect on your long term goals and what you hope to achieve in your career in the future. And don't just think about what you could do based on who you are right now. I really want you to imagine your ideal career, the ideal surroundings. What does your day to day look like? And then write down specific goals and milestones that you want to reach. And I'm telling you, this works. I've done it and I still do it. The second thing is to invest in skill development. You're going to have to find out, based on what you want your future career to look like, where you need to pick up additional skills and knowledge. You identify the areas where you can enhance your skills that you have already, and then you can acquire new ones that align with your career goals. And this could involve enrolling in online courses or attending workshops, going to traditional schools, or it may mean getting a mentor. If you need someone as a mentor to start you on this emotional journey, then I'm that person. I hold a monthly challenge called the Emotional Reset Challenge. I walk you through how to operate with a different vision for yourself based specifically on how you see yourself in the future. I'll include the link below. And an investment in skill for personal development is the key to changing your confidence. So, whether it's a challenge, a workshop, a course, find out what works for you and what you need to enhance the skills that you already have. And it's going to enhance your perspective and how you show up at work and how you show up to other people, period. The third thing that you can do to handle and change toxic work environments is to expand your network. If you only know the people that you work with, this is the only job or the only thing that you've ever explored, how do you know that this is where you're supposed to be and there aren't other options for you? And networking is crucial for career advancement. You could start by reaching out to colleagues or people who work with you in your industry that are professionals. You could even join professional organizations, and that way you can build meaningful connections so that you can hear about new opportunities. And I always say, Reach for opportunities and networking where you can learn from the people there, not people who are on the same level or have the same information that you have. Yeah, it's good to exchange information and know people who are at your level, but how are they going to help you? You need to find opportunities that are going to lift you up, that are going to promote you inside, not that are going to keep you at the same level or growing incrementally. Remember, by taking proactive steps to empower your professional journey, you're not just navigating the currents of change, you are charting a course towards success and fulfillment. Success is not about climbing the corporate ladder, but about achieving your personal goals and becoming the best version of yourself. That's what Oprah Winfrey said. I like organic networking. And that's where you first decide who you are and what goals you want to have, and you start telling people about it. You meet someone and you're just having a conversation, share what your dream is at a higher level. You don't have to go into details and bore people with the little nuances of what you're planning. But you never know who you already know, and you never know who they know. So my sister coined that term for me, organic networking. I don't know where she got it from, but just start talking to people and share with them what it is that you do or what it is that you want to do, and you never know where that might lead. You can also start, just drawing out a professional development map. Where do you want to be? What steps are they going to take for you to get there? It's about creating your own exit strategy or a path to advancement, whichever one is what's going to work for you. I've walked through the storm myself, focusing on where I wanted to go rather than the chaos in my environment. That type of focus was my lifeline. Creating goals that are bigger than how I see myself right now develops me to become the person who can do whatever it is that I want to do in the future. If I only rely on what I see right now that I can do, I might not ever reach that goal. I might not ever become the person who can even achieve the goal. And if I achieved it, have I developed myself in a way that's going to allow me to maintain or even grow any further? Managing emotional intelligence and developing that personal growth that we all need all the time is something that you must do, not just for your career, but for the way that you think. Stretch goals help you to become the person that can do what seems scary or unrealistic. Philippians 4:13 doesn't just comfort me, it is a true statement of fact. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Believe it because it's true. As we wrap up our two-part series on navigating the storm of a toxic work environment, it's essential to reflect on the journey we've taken together, from recognizing toxicity to building emotional resilience and empowering your professional path. We've covered a lot of ground today. But you know what? Our journey doesn't end here. If you're hungry for more insights and tools to curate a sophisticated career designed for your fulfillment, I invite you to pick up a copy of my book, Brains and Baubles Do What Works for You. It's a treasure trove of wisdom. You'll find practical strategies, personal anecdotes, and a roadmap for achieving sophisticated empowerment both in your career and in your lifestyle. Thank you for joining me on this empowering journey. Remember, together we can turn trials into triumph. Hit the subscribe button and stay connected, and let's continue facing these storms together, emerging stronger, wiser, and more empowered than ever before.